Welcome to Beyond the Talking Points with my brother, Dr. Musa Abdullah. What's up, Doc?
What's going on, brother? As I was saying earlier, man, I'm excited. I'm pumped up to give some education. I'm here with my brother, the great Tim Black, the most dangerous man on the internet. So I hope we don't scare a couple of you fellas and gals off, but we got some teaching and learning to do up in here today.
That's right, man. We got to get them correct, man. This is what time it is, man. For everybody out there, station identification. We do this every second Thursday of the month. This is our Black History Month edition. The doc is chomping at the bit. He ready to get at it. He got information. He want to have a conversation. Everybody strap in. Share this on your social media. And don't forget to follow All Things Education Official on YouTube. He's also on TikTok. You on Instagram, Doc?
Yes, I am. I'm All Things Education _official. Follow me on Instagram. Also, my new TikTok handle is FBA Educator. You know, they kind of dinged me and they started messing with my channel because I guess I was spitting too much information, so I had to change my handle. FBA Educator.
That's what's up, man. I like that change, brother. That lets people know exactly where you're coming from, man. They ain't got to guess. They know what they're looking for, and they get it right there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, man, this Black History Month, man, it's been a lot of conversation about this month, bruh, you know, with everything going on with the so-called diaspora wars.
Yeah,
man, I don't know what it is, Doc. Was it always this contentious, bruh, between Black Americans or foundational Black Americans and immigrants, man? Or is this a new thing, you think?
This is new, and I'm so glad you asked that question, brother, because you know, me and you, we were born in the 70s. You get what I'm saying? Maybe 60s, I don't know, because we ain't really go that deep on the convo, but we definitely Generation X. Right? So what I do know is that all of my childhood, I'm talking even teen years, young 60s. Adult years.
Yeah.
Black History Month was for Black Americans. Now, there were Black immigrants, African and Caribbean, because I had friends that were Caribbean and I had friends that were African, but they recognized and acknowledged that that was a time that we celebrated our heroes, you know. And before we get started, let's just dispel some myths, okay? First things first, we know the people are going to come out the woodworks and they're going to say the usual names that are not of our lineage. Okay, let's start them up. Shirley Chisholm, Malcolm X,
yeah,
Harry Belafonte,
yeah.
Oh, was it Louis Farrakhan, right? These are people that we always hear about that are not of our lineage, but represented the Black American struggle. And I will give you that. That is absolutely correct. But these were people that we now term them as on code.
Right.
They were fully aware of the Black American struggle, the foundational Black American struggle. They were a part of it, and they lent their voice, their energy, and their strength to that struggle. But they never once tried to co-opt it and make it something from their particular countries or ethnic groups of origin.
Mm-hmm.
They recognize that the problems of the Black American, the Black people that have a lineage traced back chattel slavery in North America, particularly the United States, they recognize we had a distinct issue. Hence the term labeled for our entire sojourn through slavery as the peculiar institution. They recognize that. So we got to lay that out there because we know people, what about Malcolm? What about Shirley Chisholm? All of those things, that's great. But let's talk about Negro History Week, which was founded by the great elder and ancestor, Carter G. Woodson. February 7th, 1926. It actually celebrated its centennial this year. A lot of people don't know that. February 7th. And the reason why I was made aware that I wasn't even aware, brother, I was made aware because I got with my fraternity brothers and we have a mentorship group and we connected with two other chapters and we met on February 7th at Weeksville Heritage Center which was the site of the largest free Black community in New York State. It's called Weeksville. And they still actually have 3 of the homes that are still up on the property, and that you can do have a tour of it, and you can see the property, see a lot of the furnishings. And so I learned that. But let's go back to the fact that Carter G. Woodson established this February 7th, 1926. And why did he establish it is the question. He established Negro History Week because he wanted to ensure that the accomplishments of Black Americans, the Negro at the time, were never left out of the historical discussions.
Right.
When you start talking about the foundation of this nation, hence the term foundational Black Americans,
there it is.
The building of this nation,
right,
and the intricate culture that we bring that is now spread across the globe. Because Black American culture, foundational Black American culture, is American culture. Everything that is great culturally, we created that. Okay,
absolutely.
So I like to make sure I got my ducks in a row. 1976 was the year of the bicentennial of the nation. Right?
Right.
That was the year, the 50-year mark, that Negro History Week was created and accepted by the nation as a federal thing, Negro History Month in 1976. But people love to say, well, it's for all Black people. Well, let's talk about that. You can say it's for all Black people, the Caribbeans and African immigrants. And let me start off by saying this as well. Myself and my brother Tim Black, we're not into the roasting and calling people names. And we don't have time for that. We have bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely.
But we will be on this side of the argument to ensure that our culture, our lineage, and our ethnicity is not erased. It is acknowledged, and it is put on the map for what it is, one of the most emulated and copied cultures in the world. Moving forward, let's talk about the numbers, okay? In 1976, in particular, there were only an estimated 300 to 400,000 Black-born immigrants in the nation. That is roughly 0.15 to 0.2% of the population. I need you to know that. I need you to hear that, because people would say, no, it was created for all of them. But we were the dominant group. Our successes, our accomplishments were the things that needed to be taught to our children and the rest of the nation. Pre-1965, which we got to say this too, foundational Black Americans fought to allow people who look like us in the diaspora into this nation through the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act. Right? Now, let's make sure we put a pin in that. I want to say this for all the people who want to argue us down. We were right in our efforts, but we were wrong in our assumptions. And let me tell you what that means.
Break that down, brother.
Okay. We were right to want our cousins from other nations to come here, but we were wrong in assuming that they fully identify with our struggle.
True.
And that they would be on code and on our team the way we were. And I heard a Black immigrant say something that made a lot of sense. And I didn't like it, but it made sense. They said, we left the nation fighting. Why are we going to come here and fight your fight? And I said that I didn't like that, but it was honest.
That's honest.
It was straightforward. They said we came here to take. They came here to take. And I respect the honesty. The problem is now you have people that are trying to rewrite history to make it seem as if we have the same struggle. Do I discount the struggles of my cousins in the diaspora in Caribbean islands, in continental Africa? Absolutely not. I do not discount your struggles. But I will say that your struggle is significantly different from ours because we were landlocked.
Yeah.
We had to fight.
Yeah.
Resistance is a part of our culture. We're not running nowhere. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stand 10 toes right here, and you're going to give us what's due. It may take a day, a year, it may take some generations, as we can see with reparations.
Yeah.
But we still going to stand 10 toes.
That's right.
Now, with that being said, after 1965, there became an influx from Jamaica, Haiti, Nigeria, Trinidad, and Tobago. The numbers did not increase for Black immigrants in America until, significantly rather, until the 80s or the 90s. And even today, in 2026, there are 4.5 million Black foreign-born residents in the nation. So that's about 10% of the population of Black people. Not the population, I'm sorry. 10% of Black people.
Black people.
So that's not 10% of the population.
No.
Because they still, and I'm going to say this, they're still lying talking about we're 13% of the population, which that doesn't even make sense. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But I need for everyone, excuse me, to know, once again, foundational Black American is not an ideology. It's not a group. There is no leader. It's not a PSYOP. It's not CIA. It's not FBA. It's FBI.
FBI, right.
We're not. We are what you would call, if you so choose to call yourself, African Americans, Black Americans, Solon, freedmen. That's us. We're all the same people. We just choose to utilize a term that can't be co-opted. And we find that many of our cousins from the diaspora have a problem with that term because it's exclusionary. It excludes them from that group. It doesn't exclude you from our love as being our cousins. But we recognize that you as immigrants feel extremely comfortable waving your flag, telling us we don't have culture while you utilize our culture for your benefit, while you celebrate your months, which we have no issue with. We don't say, why can't we be a part of that? We don't do that. We allow you to have your fun. I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
The mecca of diversity.
Brother, if you could see how the Caribbean immigrants shut down Brooklyn during the Caribbean Day Parade, you should see how they shut down New York during the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
The
Dominican Day Parade.
It is.
And guess what? Black Americans have no problem with it.
No problem.
We have our own parade, the African American Heritage Day Parade in Harlem every year.
Okay.
And there's never any problem. There's never any problems, no shootouts, no stabbings, no nothing. It's a beautiful day. My family and I, we go.
Dope.
My fraternity chapters, we go. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Brother Tim brought the topic forward, and it's true. Now, has it been adopted by other Black groups for them to acknowledge not only Black Americans, but throw a little bit of their stuff in there? Okay, you've been doing that. But let's not forget the foundation of Negro History Week, which became Black History Month. I liken it like a car. A car was created for transportation. That's what it was created for. To move from point A to point B faster and more efficiently than a horse and buggy.
Preach.
By no means did the inventors of the automobile ever envision NASCAR. They didn't envision it, but we're here now. Yeah. And to say NASCAR is not a part of driving or automotive history would be false. But you cannot say, I'm going to celebrate it and I'm going to celebrate my people. It wasn't just for you. That is an outright lie. Foundational Black Americans created Negro History Week, which became Negro History Month, which we should now aptly entitle it Foundational Black American History Month.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes. Applause. Applause. Give it up for that, man. That is a doctors put on a master class on Foundational Black History Month. I love it, man. And you know, I'll just to add to that, I often wonder what's in the psyche of those that have such a problem with the term and with the celebration. There's a channel by the name of Diaspora Theory who coined it this way. Black History Month, Foundational Black History Month, or looking at our history from the foundational lens is not exclusionary. It's precise. It's precise. I'd say specific and precise. So that's, and my thing is, if this title, Foundational Black Americans, bothered you so much, I got a question like, why? Because you still have your heritage. I'm sure there's history that goes back to your country where your parents are from, your ancestors derived. We don't, you know, we're not here to take anything away from your original status in the rich history that I'm sure that you have, and I'm sure you appreciate it and you have pride in it. My thing is, what is there to gain? What is it about our history that you want to adopt? Like, why would we have to quibble about you respecting boundaries? Like, I just don't get it other than to see it as self-serving. You know, you don't get to go to the buffet table and pick up the snow crab legs, you know, and leave the meatballs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to pick it all up.
It's the whole thing, fam. Like, you got to add in the lynchings and the church bombings and the town floodings and all the castration, sterilizations. There's a lot. And it's not just Beyonce and nice, you know, dancing and music and artistry and you know, it's the whole enchilada family. And so, you know, the part of the problem, I think, bro, is that we got this damn internet. And don't get me wrong, man, I'm not a hater. I love it. I've been doing this for a long time now, over 10, 12, 13, 14 years, man. And I wouldn't be able to do this without the internet connection. It's a beautiful thing. And everybody's allowed to post whatever the hell they want to post, and I get it. But we got a lot of people speaking out of school, speaking out of turn, speaking reckless, and saying a lot of things that trigger folks. That's why I'm so appreciative that Doc put that in. Look, I'm not here to roast you because of your nationality. I'm not here to roast you because you were born in Sierra Leone instead of Memphis, Tennessee. Like, I'm not here to roast you for that, or your parents are from. That's not what this is about. This is about us having our justice claim.
That's right.
First and foremost for me. And that's for my children. So I don't know if I'll be here to see that, but I know that's a good fight, and we got to continue to fight. So when you try to make us be flat blackness, where everybody's just black, then that basically neutralizes everything that our ancestors died for, everything that we struggled for, and what our ultimate goal is to get our check cut. To get our check cut. And I won't back away from that. So when you had these people saying, oh, it's about hate, and no, it's about paper. It's like a class action lawsuit. If put it this way, you know what it is. You were working at a company, they've been mistreating people, and there was a lot of that going on in the office space, and there's a certain group in that worked at that company,
Mm-hmm.
File paperwork.
That's right. That's
10
right.
years later, you show up. You can't join the lawsuit because they wasn't, you weren't abused.
That's right.
You weren't affected.
I love that analogy. I love that analogy.
So if you take away, we say, well, that's just employees. Now they can say, nah. Now they want to dismiss our case because we're including you who weren't at the employment space at that time.
Absolutely.
That's all this is to me.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into this person said this online and it pissed me off. Shabuzi got up there and said immigrants built the country. That's rhetoric. That's talk. That side is serious. I talk about it because I'm a content creator, but family, I'm more concerned with Dr. Musa's children and their right, their birthright, and what's owed to not just them, and that's based on what was owed to his ancestors, which never got it. Exactly. And my ancestors, which never compensated. I'm more concerned with that than I am about roasting Shabuzi.
Yeah, I get
his words at the Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to kind of put that out there, man. But man, Doc gave a masterclass, bruh. What else? Anything else on that topic, man? You like?
Yeah, I do definitely. It's just so many layers to it because I peruse the web, and like you, the internet is not a real place, but it does invoke real feelings. Right. And what I'm starting to understand, brother, is that I think the level of parity is the problem. As foundational Black Americans, Black Americans, Solon, Friedman, we have no problem giving credit and love to other cultures. We just never have had that issue. I can go get when I ate meat, I can go get some. I could tell you where the best oxtail was in East New York. I could tell you where the best egusi and fufu was in East New York. I could tell you where the best patties were in Ocean Hill, parts of Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy. I can tell you those things because guess what? For me to say, man, that food is good is not a problem. For me to say that parade, it may be a little hectic, it might get a little violent sometimes, but it's a vibe. It's fun. They have a great time. When I see them with their flags on their cars and their bumper stickers and their T-shirts and hats, I feel nothing about that negatively. But the issue is when we do it, it's called divisive.
Right.
And that word divisive blows my mind because if you want to talk about divisive, I want you to point to a Black American who has traveled to another nation, become involved in their politics, and then began to tell those people what they do and do not deserve.
Wow. Then to get on the internet, make content about it.
Just have these 4 to 5 hour long Twitter spaces and TikTok spaces and literally get online and become public. And let me tell you, I have a number of fraternity brothers that fit that mold, brother. Do you know who was a member of my fraternity? And see, I got to call it out because I've been calling my fraternity out for the last 15 years. I've been a member for 35 years. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Do you know who was a member of my fraternity?
Stephen A. Smith.
Absolutely not. He's a member of Omega Psi Phi.
Oh, my bad. Roland Martin.
Governor Roland Martin, yes.
Okay.
And I every chance I get when I see him at a convention, I be trying to get to him.
Hey, Doc.
Every chance I get, I'm like, where's Roland gonna be? Where's Roland? I need to find Roland.
Doc, you quickly corrected me on the Stephen A, bro.
Oh, yeah, I have to correct you on that because that's a cool. They have. I'm sorry. Let me try. They have a turncoat issue in their organization as well.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because they got Stephen A. Smith over there in their hookup. So they got what's your guy? Steve Harvey over there. So
Steve Harvey,
right, who once around talk about we got our rhythm from the continental African and all that stuff. But that's another conversation. But Governor Wes Moore.
Yeah, my governor. Only Black governor in the country.
And this man vetoed a reparation study. Now, let me be very clear on that. I understand if you were to say we're sick and tired of studies. let's do this. But just to say we're sick and no more studies, and then you don't offer replacement agenda, that lets me know you are just as nefarious as the other white supremacists or the closeted liberals who do not wish for us to be compensated for a debt owed. So I have been going back and forth online all day today. People saying, oh, he was uninvited to the Trump. I said, we don't care.
We don't care, fam.
We don't care he was uninvited to a Trump.
Oh, he got his foot in hurt.
He's
uninvited, yeah.
Who cares?
He's uninviting us to our lineage. He's uninviting us to our compensation.
You don't want us to get compensation because you know that one, like your boy, even though he's on the other side of the aisle, you have the same ideology of Byron Donalds, who said, I don't believe in reparations because my parents wouldn't get it.
Right.
So now people are arguing Democrat versus Republican. To foundational Black Americans, I have one question. What's the difference? We're still not getting policy from either side of the aisle. All we get is Trump bad from the Democrats, and all we get is not even a conversation from the Republicans. So I always go back to what my brother, the great Tim Black, has always said. Both parties suck, Johnson. Right. So with that being said, I need people to understand there is no Black American version of Westmore in any other country. There's no Black American version of Byron Donalds in any other country of the diaspora. So who's more divisive? I've been called a Yankee by Caribbean folks in Brooklyn. I've been called an Akata by a Nigerian who did not think I knew what the term meant.
What?
I've heard the joke, your people came on a boat, we came on a plane.
Yeah.
So tell me, where's the division? And I have one last question. I'm gonna let you take it away, great brother. When were we ever collectively united?
Wow.
You can point to individuals. Yeah, you can even point, you might be able to point to small groups in certain cities and states, but collectively, there has always been a division split down the middle between Black Americans who have always been trying to reach their hand out to pull people from the diaspora into our fight, into our struggle, say, hey, we're all Black. We developed the concept of flat Blackness when we advocated for the 1965 immigration bill.
Yeah.
But now that we're saying, hey, that ain't working out too well for us.
Right.
Let's worry about ourselves. Now we're being divisive. Talk to me, brother.
Well, you know how that was sold. They sold it to Black America by saying, hey, we need to increase our numbers. This is going to be better for us. It's going to provide us with more leverage.
Yes, sir.
And I think due to the trauma that we have in this society that we are all faced with, I think as a people collectively, we thought more is better. You know, more is better. And these are, these people look like us. They have our same skin tone. And at that time, we had the movement of Black is Beautiful. We based on the segregation in the country, it just made sense from a surface level perspective. But as you pointed out earlier, family, we didn't take into account that the mentality matters.
Absolutely.
When they come over and they get the crash course that Black, no black.
No black poppy. No black.
No black poppy. Like it's crazy, fam. I think that's part of it. And I think now that people have, I don't know, man, I think we've seen enough. I think that the internet has provided us with enough receipts, frankly, that we can see pretty clearly now the love is gone. And that collectively for us to go, we want. Also, we have awakened to the trickery of the political system in a way that we just didn't know 60 years ago. Like we see now, oh, this is a play. Oh, we see now what's going on. It's a dilution of our power is what's going on. Not the inclusion makes us stronger. We hear these terms. Oh, together we're stronger. Yeah, I don't know, fam. I thought.
Are we though? Yeah.
I mean, if you got, we had cut to. We had cut Let me add him back. You back, Doc?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
When you when you have a I don't know, when you have a whiskey and you add, I don't know why you would add Coke to it, but if you added Coke to it, it's gonna dilute it.
That's
That
right.
makes it stronger. It makes it
weaker.
more palatable to the weaker drinkers. Like so, yeah, it tones down the spirit. And it makes it easier to swallow. So maybe that was part of the motivation to do that in the first place. Maybe more diabolical behind the scenes of what people were expecting. So yeah, fam. I don't know how does that sound, bro? You with me on that?
Oh, definitely. I think that is probably why the riders, as they say, the riders in the continent, the riders of the on the Caribbean islands, they're not here. Those aren't the ones that we're getting.
Oh, man.
We're getting the ones that are just happy to be out of their condition, because we also have to recognize it's an economic thing as well.
That's true.
It's economics, and we need to be honest and truthful and speak to every nuance. If you take any person, let's say you take me, and I'm impoverished, I have very little I can work as hard as I want, but the infrastructure of my city or state does not support me moving up or upward mobility. But you tell me, hey man, listen, you're in New York. You're going to work hard, but you ain't going to get much. But if you come on down to Georgia, I can get you a job where you're going to make 10 times more than you've ever made. You're going to live 100 times better than you ever lived. But look, if you come, don't get mixed up in that foolishness around you. That ain't your business. You come over here, you make your money, set yourself up smooth, and live your life. Who isn't going to take that option? Most poor people would take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a young woman from Sierra Leone who has been saying some of the most horrendous things about Black Americans, saying that she would strap a bomb to her chest and be amongst us.
Yeah,
you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what, brother? I've been to Sierra Leone a number of times, and I can fully understand why they would want to come here, and why, if someone told them, hey, you come over there, you shut your mouth. But also there's another level to that. There is a distinction of groups in their own nations. There is Timi, Mende, Kono, Fula. These are all 4 distinct groups in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is about this big.
Wow.
I've witnessed them not speak to one another, avoid one another. And they're all Sierra Leone descendants. They are been there for, I don't know how long, at least a century. And they don't speak to one another. They deal with each other on an as-need basis.
Is that like a caste system, or are they just...
No, they're just distinct ethnic, they're cultures. They don't say tribes.
Okay.
They say, this is my culture. Now, what I learned about the Fula were intermixed with the Arabs, so they're all Muslim. But then you got the Mende, then you have the Timi, and I know you have Kono. These are different cultures or tribes, and they are very separate. So why wouldn't they come here with that same level of thinking, that same mentality? As you said, mentality matters. But going back to the point of economics, we don't get the individuals who are well-to-do and come over here. That's not what we get. We get the people that are just trying to make it. And to that, I understand and I sympathize, because their nations have been destabilized, right?
Right.
But you come here, and now you don't want to align with us because you don't want any pushback from the people who allowed you here, because you actually believe that they're the ones that got you here. They didn't tell you that we're the ones that fought for you to come here.
Right.
And you're just so happy to make money and live a better life. I understand that, but don't crap on us just to do it. Because when I've been to the continent about 4 times, and every time I've been to South America, I've been to the continent, and the people there are like, hey, yo, we understand, what's going on over there, man. We applaud you guys for the fight you put up, man. We are in awe of what you do. But guess what? Those are not the ones they're allowing over here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, fam, I didn't know that they had experienced that there in their own home country, and then they come here and act oblivious. And they hear delineation and they get beside themselves. I don't get it. Like you understand the concept, and like I never felt the need, and that's to barge into other cultures and demand a place. It's like crazy, man. Like if a Jewish brother invite me to his table for dinner, I'm not gonna like move it, get your food out the plate,
Yeah, where's my food at? Why you don't have my food?
What's up? You know what I'm saying? What we listen? What's this music we're listening to? What's going on? What's this smell in your house? You need to change this. It's just crazy what we're experiencing right now.
Yeah,
and it's to me, it's humongous disrespect is what it is. But at the end of the day, fam, they're not going to be able to knock us off our square if we stay playing it. Because the moral authority, it resides with us.
Yes.
That's the other thing, man. We are actually that group of people that, as you pointed out, that are so dominant within the culture, not just in the United States, but globally.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody...
And I think they try to tarnish our reputation. That's what I have concluded by just observing the media presence, that the media coverage they give us is purely to tarnish us, so we don't have that moral capital that we do. We don't have rings of criminality. We don't have networks of PDF files. We don't have a history of genocidal acts on other groups. We don't have those things. We don't have a history of disenfranchisement of other groups, of other people, of mass grapings. We don't have those things. So we're the last group in this nation that can say we've never engaged in those things. As a matter of fact, we've always been the recipient of those atrocities. So what the mainstream media do, legacy media has done, they try to highlight, particularly right wing and in some instances left wing, have attempted to focus on the ills of our community. But guess what? Telling us that we can't fight for what is owed to us because we need to work on this problem. Well, let me be clear and let everyone know there is never going to be a community that is 100% free of this negligent, derelict class. It's just ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. Man.
And stop using representative sampling for my people. Stop looking at the least of us and attributing those behaviors to all of us. Because there are things that go on in certain neighborhoods in Brooklyn that I know they happen. I get it, but I don't understand it. I have children that don't understand the struggle. My children have a two-parent home. My eldest children do not. But my younger children have a two-parent home. They grew up in a two-parent home. That's all they know. They know about traveling. They know about reading books and higher education and multiple forms of income. They know about stocks and investments. They know about the diaspora. They know about the truth of this nation. They know all of that. They don't know about slanging dope and hanging on the corner. And they don't know about that. Why? Because it's not their life. And if it were all of Black culture, they would be inundated with it. So I would say to my cousins in the diaspora, stop doing what some white liberals and many white supremacists do, attribute the least of our nation to us, because guess what? Up until recently, we never did that to you. We just assumed all the brothers and sisters from the African continent were kings and queens. And up until recently, we just assumed that everyone from the Caribbean was living a beautiful life on the beach, eating jerk chicken and roti and every other thing. But now that our eyes are open, we're saying, no, You have a degenerate class just like us. Stop waving your finger at us as if you came over here on an ivory ship because you felt like visiting. You came here because of the destabilization of your nation and the lack of opportunity in the country. But we challenge you as foundational Black Americans to take the knowledge that you gained over here and go back to your homelands and build it up, because you don't have an excuse. You have an all Black nation.
Ooh, Cook. That brother Cook, man. Look, Doc, man. I want to slide in here, man, and hit you with a couple quick reactions, man. Get your feedback on a couple clips, man.
Okay.
That are right up your alley, bro. I've been saving these and had this conversation with you, bro, because of your expertise, brother. Man, give it up for Doc, man. Doc, let people know how to go find your channel once again while I load this up.
Please feel free to follow me on all things education official on YouTube. You can follow me on my my media handles, social media handles at Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. And my new TikTok handle is FBA Educator. All else is all things education official. Look me up: Facebook, LinkedIn, Rumble, TikTok. I'm all there. Just check me out.
That's what it is, man. Let's see how this loads up, man. Let's see how this
yeah, let's see what you got for me.
Next up with Tim Black.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Jefferson McClellan. My address is on file with the clerk, and I am an 8th grader at Gainesville Middle. Tonight I want to talk about a serious issue at my school. Monkey, the only game a white person can beat a Black person at is hangman. These aren't jokes. These are misunderstandings. These are racial slurs said directly to me by other students. I have reported this harassment before. Nothing seems to happen, and it keeps happening. Recently, after being told, "Shut up," I reacted. I hit another student for that. The school acted quickly. I was suspended for 3 days. I'm not standing here saying what I did was right. I'm here asking why. Why, when racism is directed at me, the response is slow or silent. But when I react to it, the response is immediate and clear. I'm not asking for special treatment. I'm asking you to stop allowing people to hurt me, to provide the same safe learning environment to me that is seemingly so easily afforded to others. When racism goes unchecked, it says that it's acceptable, and it teaches students like me that we're expected to deal with it because the school won't. I know racism exists, and I know I will probably deal with it again and for the rest of my life. I didn't expect to have to deal with it already. I'm 13 years old. I would like to be a kid just a little bit longer. I am not bad. I am not threatening. I am not aggressive. I am not lesser. I am just a kid who wants to go to school and feel safe. This shouldn't keep happening to me, nor anyone else.
Thank you.
All right, brother, let me get that out of here. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, brother, it's tough stuff, man. That's tough, man. Let me
Brother.
Yeah, brother.
I got so many questions. First and foremost, let me start off by saying that one thing you'll hear me say constantly and consistently on the channel, my channel, All Things Education Official, you'll always hear me say we need to create, fund, and maintain our own institutions. I always say that. And it goes beyond just schools, because we are targeted in all areas of activity: health, dietary, financial, educational. So, but as an educator, I always advocate for the creation of independent schools so that proper education can be given to our children. Let's start there. Secondly, This is something that I understand goes on a lot. And it's not just in immigrant communities, it's foundational Black Americans, particularly Gen Xers or baby boomers, silent generations, and those that are locked into certain environments because they don't have the financial wherewithal to move, right?
Mhm.
But we live in a society now where educational institutions are more open, so you can move about.
Okay.
And I am so angry at that young man's parents.
Mm.
I'm not angry at that young man at all because he's doing phenomenally considering his circumstances. I teach at a university in New Jersey, and the course I teach is understanding abuse and violence on children. And one of the things that's never discussed at length is race-based trauma. First of all, if that were my son, it would only have been one time before I would have turned that school upside down. It is no way my son could come home after one time and tell me, oh, it happened again. Well, that's okay. We're going to get you up out of there, and we're going to bankrupt that school. Because I'm going to reach out to everybody that needs to be reached out the first time to ensure that they know it needs to be handled. He should not be worried about that. And let me also say, it leads me to believe that that young man is going to a predominantly white school.
Exactly.
Because by no means would that be happening in a predominantly Black school. And I think one of the issues I have seen with my friends, some of my family, some of the people I've lived around, we equate better facilities, nicer amenities to a better school system for our children.
Yeah.
It's not what that means, because those schools were created for their children, not ours. I would rather my child go to a school that does not have the same level of amenity, but he feels comfortable in his own skin. He feels safe than to go to that type of foolishness. And you have educators who are set forth, and they're not there for all children. Let's be clear. They're there for their children. He is an annoyance. He is an irritant that they are forced to contend with. And when you bring forth an issue such as racism, well, if you are asking a racist to protect the victim from another racist, you are effectively asking the fox to guard the hen house.
There it is.
So that young man, I give him kudos and applaud and so much love. I would love to find out his name and reach out to him. But I have some stern words for his parent. He should have been removed from that school a long time ago. You should have gotten a lawyer, and you should utilize some of the money you get from that lawsuit for his therapy, because he is currently experiencing race-based trauma.
There it is.
I literally just did a broadcast on my channel about the same exact situation, but it got deadly. There were a group of white students in Marysville, Michigan. They had been calling these young Black, a biracial child and Black child, all the N-words, and the final straw was, he said, I'm going to bring my KKK relatives up here to kill all of you. And they got into a fight. The young people who fought the white kids were suspended for 10 days. There's been no word on what punishment was given to the white children, but it goes one step further, brother. One of the white children's family member came up to school with a gun, and he was not arrested.
Wow.
There were no charges brought on the family member, father, mother. I don't know who it was. And we are still unclear of any consequences levied against that family or that child. So are we still in 2026 trying to figure out how to make it work? It's not going to work. It's not going to. We need to be gatekeepers and protectors for our children, because we know, ensure that if we don't, it's effectively leaving them to die.
You know, the only thing I'm going to ask is, because I think you did such an excellent job breaking it down, brother, and I don't want to be redundant, but I will say, just to put a personal spin on it, I remember when, as a contractor in the federal government here in D.C., there was a point where I was doing double shifts, and I was able to accumulate a nice stash for my family.
Right.
And at that time, I was staying in a location in the hood.
Right.
And my kids were young. And I had to make a decision. Was I going to stay, or was I going to renew my lease, bank some more money,
right,
or move us up out of the hood?
Right. And
I was like, wow, I was kind of torn because, you know, my dad was very frugal, was conservative when it came to his finances. So I've been trained to, if you could save your money, splurge later.
Right.
But I had to put my child first.
Right.
I had to put my oldest child first. The other kids were a little bit younger. They had just started school. I said, you know what? I think it's more important that the environment that my kids are raised in, that should come before me getting a new car.
Right.
Me put a few extra dollars in the bank, whatever that is. Like, you know, so looking back, I know I made the right decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have turned out differently had we stayed, had I put more money away. Now I know money goes.
Yeah.
You know,
money goes.
you're going to spend that money. If at some point, something's going to come up, somebody's going to come knocking, someone in the family's going to need it, or it's going to be an emergency or what have you.
Right.
But you can't get back the peace of mind, the stability, the more controlled environment. So to anybody out there, man, if you're having to make that decision where if you're in a privileged position, because you are to even have a choice. There was a time I didn't have a choice.
Right.
You know, I was in some rough areas, and me and Mrs. Black, we were just trying to make it do what it do, just trying to make it. But once we got air room, once we got elbow room financially, we had to make the decision that was for the best of our children. Right. So just tying that into what Doc's saying, do that with education.
Absolutely.
Do that with your school system. Like, put that first, because in moving just to and when you move, don't think, as Doc pointed out, because it's a double-edged sword, right? Just because you move to an area that has some diversity, aka white people in it, because that's the diversity we talking about. Come on.
Absolutely.
Don't think you won the battle. Because that happened to me when I was a kid. They moved us to an area, it was a more of a lower middle class white area. We moved from an apartment complex to this area in Prince George's County where it was some white folks were there, and they were racist as hell, man. And I was like, what? I went from living in where all the black people sat on the stoop, and people were joning and doing the dozens, and now I'm in an environment where occasionally a white person will drive by in their car and yell the N-word out at me.
Yeah.
This is not what I signed up for.
Right.
And and my parents had already made that decision. They didn't know what they were getting themselves into.
Right.
You know, they just saw, hey, we getting a house, we getting out of this apartment complex. So anyway, I just want people to know that when you get an opportunity to make choices, fam, do it with a clear head and you got to look at more than one thing. I mean, we talking about these immigrants, but maybe they don't know these are considerations, the extra stress of decision makings us foundational Black Americans must make as we go through. It ain't just, celebrating, our great musicians and artists and actors. And it's also these tough decisions about where we're going to live, where we're going to work, where our children go to school, where they're going to learn. All of this is part of it.
And I want to say this. When you start talking about education with our children, we're not afforded the option to just put them anywhere that has a good rating. We're not afforded that opportunity. No, it's okay, brother. You ready to jump in? I'm ready.
They moving this dog. I didn't even hit it. It just happened on its own.
No, that's okay. Well, what I was saying is that we've got to be intentional about the choices we make for our children's education. We can't just say, "Oh, this school has a good rating. It's got 5 stars. It's blue ribbon. I'm going to send my child there." Those options are not afforded to us easily. We got to be intentional about where we're sending our children. And you'll hear this a lot. And this is the trick bag. That word diversity is so interesting because you'll hear people say, this school is diverse. It's a diverse population. And it very well may be. The question is not whether or not the student population is diverse. Is the staff diverse? Because I've seen schools where you had every single thing in a significant number, every single group represented in a significant number, but you had an entirely white staff. So we always focus on being called the N-word and monkey and all these other blatant, overt forms of anti-Blackness. But we never discuss the microaggressions, the expectations, the bigotry of low expectation. Was that Thomas Sowell that says that all the time?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't rock with Thomas Sowell at all, but he does say he has some great idioms, and he talks about the bigotry of low expectations, and that's thrown up on us. Oh, I know he can't do that. Well, why can't he? Well, he's got a bad situation. And what's your point? You need someone such as myself in your school that'll say, no, he can do it. No, she can do it. I don't care about that. She can do it. Don't lower the bar. Raise the bar. Because if you lower it, they'll meet it every single time. But those are the microaggressions. Well, I would give your who can I call at your house? Your mom?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh no, you can call my father. Oh, well, does he live near? He lives with me. Those are things that happen. These are the conversations that are had. Oh, it's Christmas. What are you getting for Christmas? Some more Jordans? Those are things like that. They don't. Oh, what did you do over Christmas? Hang out with your friends and play the game? Oh no, we went out of the country. Really?
Really?
Where did you go? Where are you from? Jamaica or something? You go to Jamaica? You're from Jamaica, right? No, I'm Black American. We went on a cruise. They don't understand that, and the reason why our children begin to absorb this is, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to have this life. And then that translates into a level of arrogance towards their peers. I've seen it play itself out. So parents, be extremely mindful of where you put your child, because as I have told parents, I literally spend more time with your child than you do. You have got to accept the fact that your child is in the care and custody of people who may or may not despise them because of their Blackness for 6 to 8 hours a day, 180 days a year for 12 years. That's a lot of indoctrination.
That's a lot of indoctrination. And you know what, brother? It takes you to be a little bit older to truly respect it, a little bit more. I won't even say age, but you have to be informed.
Yes.
Of the gravity of the situation, because we worried about the bills, worrying about keeping the job going, we're worrying about parents getting older, we're worrying about keeping the roof over here, the dog, whatever, everything lifing, your health, all these things are lifing at the same time. We could lose touch with some of these finer points that you're pointing out, because we're concerned about them using the N-word, but are our children being pushed? Are they being challenged, as you pointed out? The bigotry of lower expectations. Are they selling a ceiling that's more like a floor?
Yeah.
For the white kids, and for your child, that's the ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man. Here goes another clip, Doc. I wanted to run by you if we got enough time, brother.
Absolutely.
I saw this, fam. I got to do it, bro. I don't know if you've seen this.
Let me check it out.
And this guy told me I'm an illegal immigrant, even though I was born in America. He said Trump is gonna get me and send me back to where I used to live, and I was born in America. I don't live anywhere else. I just don't get why kids like to say those stuff. It makes me really sad that how they just control their power like that. They think they have power, and it's just not nice.
Sorry, Max.
Yeah, I saw that video making a lot of headway, brother. And I was like, you know what?
Man.
Doc, I know you gotta I gotta get this on the screen the right way here for this, bro. Family. Let me see if I can do that, because I'm sure. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that,
Doc.
you know,
What do
that,
think,
oh my
bro?
God, that thing right there. First of all, let me start off by saying this. Stop messing with the kids, man. The kids are innocent. I don't care what race you are, white, Asian, you're from the diaspora, you're foundational Black American. I don't care. The kids should be off limits. But the problem is that the kids are being raised by adults.
There it is. Yeah.
And let me say this. There wasn't no Black kids doing that to them. I can almost guarantee you that.
I can almost guarantee that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we need to also speak to our Asian cousins who have been propped up as the model minority and have been labeled extremely white adjacent, and in some cases honorary white.
Yeah.
You believe truly that you are accepted. You're not. They will accept you over me. Absolutely. But if they could get rid of all of us, but keep what we contribute, let me say that, they would. That child got that from some adult.
Yeah.
That child isn't watching Fox or CNN.
Right.
That said that to that child.
Absolutely.
So it would behoove you to arm your child with truth, as opposed to going along, which most likely his parents are going to treat him and teach him that that's a one-off. It's just that kid or that group of kids. No, that's the society that we live in. I don't know. I definitely know. Matter of fact, I do know. You're not going to have the talk that we have to have with our children right. about how to interact with law enforcement and authority figures, women in the dominant society. You're not going to have that talk. Yeah. But you do need to inform your son, the young Max, that he is not fully in the club. He really is not fully there. Yeah. And it saddens me when I see any child get treated like that. That broke my heart to see him go through that, because he truly at this age doesn't understand.
Yeah. And of course, family, I just want to echo that as once again, you know, when you see children, you know, being hurt like that, you know, traumatized, emotionally, you know, harmed by college activity, name calling, what have you, bullying is what that is. Yeah. You know, that's despicable, family. And there's no support for that here on this side of it. And as a foundational Black American, me choosing that particular designation, I just want to say anybody who's using that designation that would, you know, make light of this or mock with this is crazy. Like, that's why I say I'm not a part of the organization, because then you get lumped in with everybody who ever claims that title. That's why I'm like, okay, I like the lineage, but I'm not, you know, I don't approve of us doing that. I don't care who it is.
Right.
But I gotta say this, and this is, they might want to distance themselves from me because of this. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. I mean, all this time, like, Doc said it earlier in the show. I was born in 1969, man. The summer of 69. So, I got a couple years on Doc. I'll say this, bruh. I was raised knowing I was an N-word.
There you go. There you go.
And when people talk about being people of color, I thought that's what they meant. That the dominant society sees us basically as all the same. But see, they don't, do they?
No, they do not.
Because I think he's Filipino, I'm not sure what he is. He's taken aback by the sudden racist or bigoted behavior of classmates. He's taken aback by it. And the person listening, I'm really sorry to hear this, Max, which it also gives me the impression, and I can't be positive, that this is a new thing.
It's not a new thing.
But what I'm saying, it's a new thing to him.
Yeah, it's a new thing to Max.
It's a new thing to Max. And
but it's not to the parent.
And no, but it's new, as in we've been N-words our whole lives. It's not a new surge of people being. That's why I've always pushed back on this Democrat nonsense where Trump is making these people emboldened. No, the algorithm's doing it. The algorithm is making you see more of it. It was here in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and 2010s. Yeah, we got it. It's just now you get paid for engagement and clicks, and we are the easiest target for that in the algorithm just because we're going to engage with it. We're going to react to it because we have been so traumatized that we are the money shot. But nah, don't get it twisted. Just because Trump's in office, that didn't bring out the racists. The racists were here.
Yeah.
I've dealt with them. Musa's dealt with them. Our children have dealt with them. This is society. And what I'm saying is Max and those people now who are feeling the brunt of the immigration, the deportation, the whole atmosphere of, are you American if you're going to get deported? All of this shit, this is, how bad can it be if it just started? It's only been 16 months.
Whew.
But the N-word was very well used in my entire life. I remember being 4 or 5 years old on the playground with a white kid calling me that and me trying to catch his ass, chasing him around the monkey bars. And that was in the 1975 or some shit. So what I'm saying is, don't tell us that now the sky's falling, everything's over now. Everything was fine, and now, we were skipping, we were holding hands. Everyone was in love with each other. We were all so united and beautiful and flowers and rainbows. And then came Trump, and the cats and dogs started falling out the sky. Fire was shooting across the rainbows. The cars were exploding. You know what I'm saying? And now everything's doomed. No, mofo. So when you use this term, people of color, let's just admit it's this bullshit for people to take, for people to have a designation. It really was never the same as Black Americans, as we pointed out earlier. Y'all just put more water in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you watered it down.
We the package.
That's right. That's right.
We the package. Go ahead, Doc.
I want to say this. There's 2 points I'd like to make. First point is that we are sitting back in amazement as foundational Black Americans to sit back on the sidelines and say, wow, it's actually happening to other groups. Now, it'll never happen to the degree that it happened to us. Let's be clear. But to watch it unfold on videos and television and in policy, and see law enforcement go after someone other than us, we are in amazement at that phenomenon. Many of us never thought we'd see this. Never thought we'd see it. So when we say we sitting back living our best Black lives, don't be upset at us. Understand that we're just doing what has been done for at least decades, while other groups sat back and watched us get shot down in the street, and they gave rationale and reason. Had our homes burned, churches burned, our women violated, our men incarcerated, and people gave every excuse under the sun. But now, as you said, it's cold red. And let me tell you how some of us feel about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, to many of us, is a great reset. The reset, the default setting for America is white supremacy. That's the default setting. And Donald Trump is helping to get us back to the default setting. So all of us ain't nothing but a bunch of N-words.
Hey.
So we are waiting to see what happens in 4 years after he's out of office and there's a new dog on the porch, another big dog on the porch. Our foundational Black Americans, African Americans, freedmen, Sulan, are they going to go back to sleep and just let the Democrats drive the car? Or are we going to finally come together first and foremost as foundational Black Americans and create, fund, and maintain our own institutions so we can safeguard ourselves and insert ourselves like every other group does? You don't hear that China, the people in Chinatown are being divisive. You don't hear that the Hasidic Jewish community, they're being divisive.
Right.
In Brooklyn, you don't hear that East Flatbush, Canarsie area, they're being divisive. That's where a lot of Caribbeans are. They're being divisive. You don't hear that. So we need to take a hold of this opportunity while Trump is helping, because he ain't the only one doing it. Let's be clear. Right. He's assisting and he's the figurehead of the Great Reset. But I'm going to end on this note. We see what's going on and we're just in amazement. But from my perspective, leave the kids alone. Yeah. Leave the kids alone. And I yield.
Yeah, man. Yeah. To the young man, to his parents, and to those watching, of course, as said, only thing I would differ with Doc is, I don't care. I don't care what people think. How can I say this? I don't give a shit if they think. I don't need to try to convince them in any way, shape, or form that I don't know if I have empathy. Like I have it, but I'm not trying to. You got to go through it, and the beauty of it all is,
I understand.
With Trump being in office and this Great Reset that Doc pointed out, the only way we're going to get a chance of this shit changing is maybe some people got to go through some shit. Because what's happening to us, it was like background noise. It's like, is that screaming I'm hearing? I can't tell. Is that a woman being tortured?
Right.
Is that a man being beat to death? I don't know. What's going on? What happened before the film started rolling?
Right. My
God, maybe something. We can't rush to judgment. We don't even need to go to a trial now, do we? Because now it's more diverse. So, hey, man. Hey, look, I knew Trump was going to be the gift that keeps giving. I didn't know it's going to get this much. It's amazing, Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Keeps on giving.
Some of us are overcorrecting. Like, hey, the motherfucker sent out a tweet that had Obamas as apes. Come on, Johnson.
We knew what that was. Cut it out.
You can't. Nah, don't.
Right.
Don't. I know he's a tool. But fam, you gotta say it's wrong.
Right, we like, but damn, come on,
man. Come on, Johnson. And it's almost to that point where it's like, oh, no, I don't see. Like, nah, but you gotta admit. Right. So yeah, man. But damn it, man, this has been a great episode, family. Doc, man, it's so great having conversations with you, brother. Absolutely. I relearned what I already learned and I forgot I learned, but it's good to be reminded, and it's also great to share with the audience, bruh. Damn, man, Doc, man, look, guys, go find the Doc. Doc, once again, I know we redundant, but they got to know. Okay. First of all, if you're watching this, wherever you are you on your channel too, Doc?
Yes, sir, we are. We are on All Things Education Official on YouTube. Follow me on my social media handles.
And follow Facebook. Me if you're watching on his channel. Follow my ass, because I'm over here on the most dangerous show in America.
That's right. Now, listen, if you want to definitely put your job at risk, go ahead and follow Tim Black. Go check him out. Definitely follow my brother Tim Black and follow me on YouTube at All Things Education Official. Follow me on social media handles at Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. And definitely, in the infamous words of my great brother, you got to stay dangerous, man.
Got to stay dangerous. Look, fam, look, the thoughts of Tim Black are his own. Okay, so just tell your people, hey, this guy crazy, Bob. You know, he got problems.
Yeah.
He was right, you know, he crazy, but he mean well. I mean well. Thank you, Doc, for this conversation, brother. Man, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you on the platform. You know, you're a scholar, a gentleman, and a down-ass brother, and that you don't get that everywhere, brother. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, family, you know what it is. I'll see y'all Friday here on the Tim Black Show. And remember, stay courageous, stay bold, but most of all, stay dangerous. All right, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I felt good. I like that. That was good. I like that.